Hello and welcome to 5-Year Club video number 323. How to save money during the holidays. It's not really our topic tonight, but I found the article. Let's go look through. Oh no, I'm shrinking. Let's go look through what Bustle has to say. Oh, come on, man. Snap aside. There we go. Okay. According to the experts. Who's the expert? Natalia Lusensky? Or is she going to be name-dropping some random financial professionals? Oh, Bank of America. Warroch. Andrea Warroch, consumer savings expert, writer, and TV personality. All right, we're just going to look at the headlines. Get creative. Creatively, don't spend any money. Actually, you know what? Now that I glance at this credit card thing, good idea to save money for the holidays. Cut up your credit card before the holidays happen. Holidays are only happening with whatever money you have right now or will get from paychecks. You will not go into debt for the holidays. Cut up the credit cards. Get rid of the credit cards. It's a great time to do it. It's always a great time to do it. Get creative. Creatively, don't spend any money. Number 1, put holiday money into a separate account. It's called a savings account. You won't touch it, and you won't spend any money for the holidays. All right. Look at your bank statement and money apps. That's right. And realize all your future obligations and how you don't actually have any money to spend on the holidays this year. Number 3, carry only cash, but make sure you carry $100 bills. Brought to you by stock photo footage. Sell some of your things, like that laptop that you're shopping on. Drink in instead of out. I very rarely buy drinks out. And when I do drink these days, it is with Trader Joe's canned wine. Very classy. Don't eat out until after the holidays. Okay. So a lot of eating in during the holidays. Be more mindful when grocery shopping. Okay. Well, I don't know. I kind of feel like unless you're really, really screwed, just buy some decent groceries. All right. Use money apps and websites when shopping. Okay, you could, but how about just not shopping so much? Because then you don't spend money. Set up autopay. That's good advice in general. Unless you don't need to autopay the thing. So if it's like your mortgage and you're not moving anytime soon, autopay. If it's Netflix, autopay. If it's $100 cable TV bill, get rid of it. Go get Netflix. Cut back on device. Alcohol. This author's an alcoholic. She's mentioned alcohol too much. Okay. And then before you buy something, consider if you can make it. I mean, see, I don't know. This device seems really silly to me. How many things do I buy that I can make? Can I fabricate an Xbox 360 with my bare hands and all of this applied materials, $500,000 machines I have behind me? No, Lewis can't do that. Anyway, that does look kind of delicious, though. Happy women. Yep, this article is all stock footage of women. But then again, I guess Bustle's probably geared towards a female audience. That makes sense. Oh, well. Anyhow, today's video is about small savings. Why? Because somebody commented on one of my YouTube videos where I was talking about saving money. Specifically, it was about how much money you needed to save to get into the top 9.9%. And so I covered a bunch of different scenarios where you made different incomes and you saved half your money, and I said, how many years does it take you to get into the 9.9%? And someone commented and they said basically that you were never going to get rich from saving money. You were never going to get, and they said things like, well, the rich have money to invest, but the poor don't have money to invest. So the gap between the poor and the rich is always going to be increasing. So even if you save money, the rich will be able to save more, and so you can't catch up, and so there's no point. And I mean, I tried to have like a dialogue with the guy a little bit, like give some comments back. The general kind of premise and mindset that savings don't matter because someone will always be richer than you. It's like, and I get some of his points. His points are basically like, dude, if you're so ridiculously poor that blah 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 blah, then like savings aren't gonna matter. But his points are wrong. Sorry, they're wrong. Savings do matter. Specifically, small savings do matter, right? Like, you haven't saved $1 million at the point where you've only saved, say, $100. That $100 matters. That $100 gets you options. Is that $100 going to turn into $10,000 anytime soon? No, probably not. But that $100 will buy you public transportation ride to speak with someone who might get you a job. That $100 can give you the basis for your next step. You save more money, it gives you even more options, right? You save $500 buys like a really crappy permanent transportation vehicle. So, actually, you know what? $100 will buy a used bike, right? So now you're not walking anymore. That's a lot easier. $500 will buy a really crappy car, right? So now you can drive somewhere. You get up into the, $2,000 range, $5,000 range, that kind of thing. That's kind of emergency fund territory for some people. Emergency fund territory is really important territory because it gives you the ability to say no to job offers when you don't have a job. It gives you the ability to apply for more jobs and to accept one that is better. And trust me, at the, when I was in college, the income range that we're talking about, I started off at a job that paid $6.25 an hour. I finished college at a job that paid $12 an hour. So I started off in the dining hall, $6.25 an hour, finished working as a teaching assistant at $12 an hour. That's, it's like doubling. That makes a big difference, especially when you're making very little money and you have a low tax rate. That additional money actually ends up in your pocket instead of going out in taxes. If my income doubled right now, most of my extra income would go out in taxes. So, boo-hoo. But anyhow, small savings, they matter. You look at a company like Zynga, right? The guy who started Zynga had $70,000 in the bank when he started the company, right? And let's see. So the Zynga founder is Mark Pincus. Mark Pincus, net worth. Oh, $1.3 billion. That's not too bad. $70,000 turns into $1.3 billion. Why? He started a company, right? And no doubt, right? This guy wasn't starting the company from nothing. He had some decent education. He had some co-founders. He had some stuff, he had some stuff going for him. But, I've got $70,000 right now. Could I turn it into $1.3 billion? Maybe. I can tell you this. I know that you're not going to be Mark Pincus if you don't have the money to start the company, to look for investors. I know that I've got $70,000 and my problem is not money anymore when it comes to starting a company. It's me. That's a good feeling, because then you don't have to make the excuse like, oh, well, I'm not going to do that because I don't have any money. Nope, it's a different reason. So when you save the money, you're removing the excuse that prevents you from really looking at yourself and saying, like, no, it's me. It's my choices. It's who I decide to talk to. It's what I decide to prioritize in my weekends. It's what kind of work I decide to try and get good at. That kind of thing. Anyway, I've got other examples of people who, got a little bit of money, saved money, started companies, got a lot more money, got a lot more net worth. And so I could talk about them, but I don't particularly, like, they're people I know, so I don't want to talk about them in video. That's awkward. But, well, I'll talk about a simple example, right? Like, the down payment on my condo was around $40,000. The condo's roughly like tripled in value, quadrupled in value, something like that. And the total value of the condo is like now at least 10 times that, right? So that's a really good investment return. You buy at the bottom of the market, you get a 10x return on that initial down payment money. That's pretty freaking great. And, yes, I had to make mortgage payments after that, but considering I'd have to pay rent no matter where I was in the Bay Area, that mortgage money was going away anyway. But if you don't have the initial $40,000 to make the down payment on a condo, you're not even going to get the chance to have that gain. Now, $40,000 is obviously, it's more than $500, right? And if you're saving, $1,000 a month, it could easily take you 3 years to get $40,000. But, not everywhere is as expensive as California, so you don't necessarily need a down payment that big. But the point is that when you're only saving small amounts relatively, right? $250 a month, $500 a month, $500 a month, you're saving $6,000 a year. In the first few months, $500, $1,000, $1,500, it doesn't seem like all that much. But after the years pass, you look up and you're like, wow, I have this chunk of like $20,000, $30,000 that I can do something good with. And then you do something good with it. You invest it. You buy a property. You start a side hustle. You buy a piece of equipment like a laser engraver for a side hustle. You look up 2 to 5 years after that and you're like, holy moly, now I got $100,000 from that. It's not a bad deal. And I think in the beginning it's hard to see the progression, because in the beginning it's hard to know the moment you save that $500, it's hard to know in 3 years when you have $20,000, it's hard to know what you're going to do with that $20,000. But if you burn some brain cells and think about different options, you're going to have some ideas in 3 years about what to do. And if you put your time and effort into doing that, then after 3 years of time and effort doing that, you're going to have even more. And after 10 years, it's awesome. And in retrospect, it all makes a lot of sense. It's very easy. In retrospect, you're like, well, I just started by saving $500 a month, and then I got $20,000, made down payment on this property, sold it 5 years later for whatever, or maybe you didn't sell it. Maybe you just kept it, and it helped you because you got to take the interest write-off on the mortgage interest, and rents were going up, but your rent didn't go up. Or, you rented out one of the rooms, and so you got some rental income from that. Whatever it is, I don't know. But point is, it's easy to connect the dots in retrospect. It's hard to connect the dots moving forward, right? So when you do move forward, if you want to be successful, if you want to accelerate, you have to assume the dots are there. You have to take it as a given, the dots are there. And the ink you're going to use to connect them is savings. It's money. And that ink builds up over time, right? You start saving $500, $1,000. It builds up. Over time, your options expand. Over time, your understanding of those options expands. And you have different kinds of success. This is actually talked about in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Is that author, and I forget his name, but he talks about basically where as you succeed in different ways in life with money, the way that you're framing the problem changes. Like I think he calls it paradigm. Your paradigm changes. And that has certainly been true for me. I know that there's like a level of abstraction and planning that's even beyond me now. That are, the people who plan hiring for a business, the people who do budgets for an annual business, who allocate money towards marketing. They generally have more business degree backgrounds, so they have confidence. I would just be kind of like making it up off the top of my head if I did it right now. And I don't think I would be 50% off. I think I would be like pretty good, but I'm not like so used to it. I haven't done it so many times at this point. I haven't made those spreadsheets so many times that it's brainless. I also haven't had like super success with a personal business. Once you have some success with a personal business, I think it's a lot easier to assume you're going to have some success with the next one, which drives you forward in that next one, even when times are hard. But if you haven't experienced any of it, it all looks super hard. It all looks impossible. You don't even bother to put the money away. You don't even bother to make the plan. Nothing happens. So, yes, there's definitely a component of trusting that the small savings is going to matter someday. And that's why I'm here making a video saying the small savings is going to matter someday. Trust me. If all you can put away is $100 a month, put away $100 a month. If all you can put away is $50 a month, put away $50 a month. In 6 months and 12 months, it's going to be something. It's going to be something that represents a lot more options than you have now. So do it. Plan for it. Don't tell yourself year after year that it's not going to matter, because every year that passes, you're giving up the most valuable dollars of your life, which are the dollars you can save right now. All right, well, that is it for video number 323. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope we can find maybe a more extensive article on small savings. Have a fabulous evening.